Alright, what's up, trolls and good Samaritans? This is just a quick little video I put together based on something I saw during the Tuesday daytime stream, and it has to do with a gentleman by the name of Anonymous. Well, he thinks his name is Anonymous, but it's actually a subhuman that goes by the name of Hank Dumas. And if you want to get a little refresher on our friend Hank, I suggest you go back and watch his section in To Catch a Pig 18. I covered him pretty well there, and I'm only going to give a brief rundown in this video because I was already working on TCAP 23, and the more I get sidetracked, the longer it's going to take. I've already done the Kevin Bernstein part of the video, and I have 2 more pay pigs to cover, but once I heard this tip message earlier, I immediately knew who it was. And it's someone I've kind of had on my radar for a minute, but I didn't really have anything concrete, and let's go ahead and pull the next picture up here. So this is from Discord, and it's from August 17th, so that's roughly a month ago. All right, and so here I say, and Hank Dumas is a likely suspect to start looking at. He has given DSP Planet Jeff levels of money, which is true, by the way, and has been a fan since 2008, and just stopped tipping all of a sudden. He even said what game he found DSP on. I have to go back and look, but if I ever hear that in a tip again, that will give him away. He also had some oddly phrased message with one of his tips. Followed your channel since Fallout 3 in 2008. Here's a little contribution for all of the entertainment. Wishing you and your wife all the best for the future. I know he's one of these whales. Maybe not a meal level, but potentially even anonymous. So my spidey senses have been tingling about this guy for a minute. I knew there was something going on, but I just wasn't 100% sure. Which brings us to Tuesday and this picture here. So you can see Anonymous tipped $199.98. A pretty big Shamu-sized whale. Everybody's thinking OIC right off the bat because, well, the guy's a fucking loser, let's be honest here. But when we listen to the tip message, it gives away some clues and it essentially defeats the entire purpose of tipping anonymously. But let's see what Mr. Hank Anonymous had to say here.
Just out of here. You can't open the door. You'll have to get the key from Car Painter. He's got it hidden away. Whoa! Well, ladies and gentlemen, I certainly was not expecting this. I just received a $199.98 tip from an anonymous tipper. Okay? Wow. That is humongous. One of the biggest tips I've had in a while. So, here's what they have to say. Phil, in advance, I'm sorry for this long message. I wanted to give you this as a gift for all of the things that you have done over the years for me. You might not know this, but you pretty much learned me English. You taught me English. And lots of life lessons. I've been watching you since Fallout 3. Wow. Well, thank you so much to whoever this anonymous tipper is. That is incredibly generous, obviously. I'm fairly certain no one's going to top that today. I'm fairly certain that's going to be our top tip of the day. So that's going to get us to $233 in tips.
All right, and shout out to the homie AA for getting that clip for me. And of course, thank you to DDM Raw for always running and being a backup. Prayer hands to you, my friend. But immediately after the contribution, Phil says that's a humongous tip and one of the biggest tips he's had in a while. This piece of trash constantly gets $100 plus tips thrown at him by subhumans. But he has to pretend like he's never seen a tip that big before and act like he's shocked. Meanwhile, that tip lasts him about an hour on WWE Champions. I mean, you need to step it up, Hank. Anonymous. We've seen this guy do 10 separate $110.09 transactions in one night. That $200 ain't gonna get him shit. But then my Fuhrer begins to read off the message and says that the person says they want to give this to him as a gift and for all the things he's done for them over the years. Whatever, man. He also says, quote, you might not know this, but you pretty much learned me English, unquote. Now, you might have thought I was going to shit on the guy, but I'm not. Speaking a different language is hard enough, and I can give credit to someone for trying. What I can't forgive is learning English from Dark Side Phil of all fucking people. This caveman will have you using words that don't even make any sense, like putting the word thus in front of everything, Or how about using the word please and contribution so much he doesn't even know what the fuck they mean anymore or when you should even use them. But this also shows you that the tipper isn't, American or British for that matter. Where they come from, English is not the first language, and you can probably tell by the name. This is also the case in Hank's situation. But then he states the magic words of, quote, "I've been watching you since Fallout 3, unquote." And once I heard that, I was able to put some of the other pieces together and determine who it was. Now let's go ahead and listen to a clip and see where else we've heard that message before.
All right, so I'm going to go on to the next question, but I've noticed I've gotten some significantly huge tips on the stream today, so hold on a moment so I can give these shout-outs. Here we go. So first of all, thank you to Stinkin' Burrows, who did a 40-bit cheer and said troll tip, because he's responding to the troll tip that I got, or the troll cheer that I got earlier. Special thanks to Hank Duma, who did a $100 tip on the stream today and said, followed your channel ever since the early days of Fallout 3 in 2008. Wishing you all the best for the future. Here's a little contribution for all the entertainment. Hank. Awesome. Thank you, Hank, for the $100 tip. Much, much appreciated. And that will definitely help out, right now. So thank you. And now, a $200 tip from Vidar. And he says, KO Gaming is actually good. I've watched close to every video on there. Not everything has to make monetary sense. Some things that you do to build character and that you can't put a price on. KO Gaming has been and continues to be positive for you. I agree.
Hey, Vidar. Thanks for the $200 tip, buddy. No refunds, by the way. My Fuhrer thanks you for that contribution, though. But Hank tips and mentions he's been watching since Fallout 3 in 2008, and he's a big fan, and thanks for everything you've done. Blah, blah, blah. And again, I know this is a short video and I'm not covering all the details, but you can start digging for yourself if you like to, and you'll start to see the similarities. Trust me. But let's go ahead and bring up the next picture here, and you can see how many times Hank can be found on PigPigGo. Now, 44 might not seem like a lot, but you have to remember Hank is more of a big tipper. So if you click on a link, it's a 50-50 shot that it may be a $100 tip or a $10 tip. He's not a 50-bit bitch like Snow Carl, where his name pops up everywhere. This is a real-life, true story Shamu. Another thing to take into account is Hank has kind of a weird name when you spell it, so it's harder to find him on PigPigGo. And of course, Phil probably mush-mouthed his name a bunch of times. So 44 is a very low estimate, but if you want to see what type of superfan Hank is, let's listen to this next clip.
Okay. And by the way, Slow Joe says, by the way, try playing a physical copy without a patch, so when the service goes down, all you can do is wipe your ass with the disc. Well, by the way, Hank Duma just left me a $25 tip. Thank you, Hank Duma. He says, maybe Santa Claus will leave you a nice tip on Monday. Here's a small tip from the support you with your tax troubles. Wishing you, your loved ones, and all viewers, fans, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Hank. Hank, a longtime viewer, longtime fan, longtime patron, longtime supporter. Thank you, Hank, for that support and the holiday message. Really do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, first off, I don't know what the fuck that salute was or who you were hiling to there. Actually, I know exactly who you were hiling to there. My Fuhrer. Once again, Phil's true colors coming out. But at the end of the tip, Phil says, quote, Hank, a longtime viewer, a longtime fan, a longtime patron, and a longtime supporter, unquote. Mind you, that clip was from December of 2017. I'm barely a baby detractor at that point. Little baby super crazy. Maybe like 4 or 5 months in, and Hank is already a longtime supporter, kind of like he's been following him since Fallout 3 in 2008. But we're going to take a look at one more picture here, and then we're going to wrap this up with some Jerry Springer, a final thoughts. Hank Duma tips $100 and says, congrats to you and Kat with your wedding. Very wise to keep it a secret so you could have this very important day without any unwanted disturbances. Wishing you and your wife all the best for the future. And I touched on this in TCAP 18, so I'm going to limit what I say here in case you are going to go back and watch his section, but it can't be said enough how dumb these people are. This guy has been watching Phil for 14 years. He's given him tens of thousands of dollars at this point. He's seen all the shit Phil has brought on himself. He's seen all the shit that's been dug up by the detractors, and a lot of it that's been proven true, by the way. He has to know that Phil has been feigning distress for years so he can play his mobile games and drink his gin and eat his DoorDash. But just like in this picture here, it doesn't even matter that Phil lied right to his fucking face about his parents' failing health, how he had to go out there and see them because this might be it and it was pretty much emergency mode, or that he lied about the $17,161 that he needed for taxes, and that he might lose his house and him and Ket's new life together might be ruined. Meanwhile, he flies across the country and gets married. But no. Instead, he congratulates him and tells him it was a very wise to keep it a secret, and then gives him $100 to top it off. Hank, next time, get down on your fucking knees. Tell Phil to take his slippers off and stick his foot right in your mouth. Because that's essentially what you're doing, is kissing the gouty foot. Instead of standing up for yourself or calling him on his fucking lies or just saying, hey, Phil, why don't you explain this to me? I've given you a lot of money and your story just doesn't add up. But no, he smacks you in the mouth and you look up at him with a smile on your face and say, thank you, sir. May I have another? And quite frankly, Anonymous, you fucking deserve it.